3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. Hi, I'm James and welcome to the new unboxing. We've got the 1 Ring starter set by Free League. Now, I first heard of Free League games when I did the Twilight 2000 4th edition, and I have to be honest, I absolutely love that. It's still among my favourite role-playing games. But the Lord of the Rings, if you're looking at fantasy, that is where you start, isn't it? Let's be honest. As a child, I remember growing up listening to the BBC radio version. The opening bars of that music take me away there every time I hear them still. I loved the books, I read them regularly. The film versions by Peter Jackson, yes, they have their faults, I'm not going to go into that in any depth, but they captured, for a lot of people, Middle-earth. So have Free League managed the same? So let's have a look at this starter set. It's a really thick box. I hate to say it, it's probably got an armour value in most game terms, this. So it's quite a thick card. It's a lovely glossy sort of shine and feel to it. So let's have a look what we've got. So we've got the dice. Okay, we'll open them up and have a look at them. I'm not a big fan of dice for specific games. These are, to be honest, fairly standard dice, 6s and 12 sides. Very sort of thematic look to them. On the 12-sided, we've got the Eye of Sauron and the G rune for Gandalf. So we have 12-sided, and then we have the 6-sided. Fairly typical again. You've got the standard numbers, but then you have obviously a rune on one of those as well on the 6th side. So we've got those. Oh, I've just seen that inside the box lid. That's quite clever. It's actually put the sort of quick details like what Shire journeys, degrees of success, dice roll modifiers. That's quite clever because that actually does make a good dice tray as well. So what else do we have? Silica gel. It's okay, it's not exactly particularly important, but it's a nice little thought. Free League catalogue. We've got some cards, so let's try and get into those. Really, I need to start learning to open everything up before I start doing a review. I keep saying I'm going to do that. At least I thought to take the plastic off the box, but this is the first time I've opened this box. And a big thank you, while I think about that, to my partner, Chris, who actually bought me this for Christmas. She got me this, she got me the rule book, and she got me the referee screen. So we've got the different weapons. Now I like the font style. It's nice and easy to read. The main text, okay, it's a bit of a sort of fancy title, but that's very simple to read, and you've got all the rules for the statistics. Okay, so you've got obviously multiple copies of some of them, because I'm assuming that multiple weapons can be used at once. So they're all the different weapons and armour. I like the touch that on the other side they actually show you what they're like, which, okay, I know pretty much what they will be, but these are the sort of things I might end up playing with my grandkids, and they won't know what a mattock is. So yeah, it's a nice little touch. It shows you the difference between male shirts and coats of mail. Yeah, so yeah, it's a nice little thought. What do we have here? Oh, we've got another silica gel. They just really didn't want this one to have any problems there, did they? So we've got the different stances that you can use during the game, because your stance will vary what you're doing. And you've got during travel and during combat. So that's quite a nice little touch. They're quite good. We've got a map. Nice thick card. So we've got a very nice detailed one of the Shire. You probably can't see all of it, but you can see enough of it to sort of get the idea there. Seems to match quite well the sort of the Tolkien sort of setting up. It's a lovely medieval style to it. I quite like that touch. There's a couple of inserts as well there, so you can see the one there for Hobbiton. They are that's quite nice. And then on the other side you've got a map of Eredor. Okay, so that looks quite nice as well. In fact, sorry, my apologies, it's not as far as that. It only goes down to Rohan, okay? But then again, that's where most of the games are going to be set. So it does seem to work. Again, you've got all the little inserts around the edges, sort of looking like, sort of giving you extra ideas. So yeah, it's a nice little map. Nice enough to frame, I think, if I'm honest. We've got the character sheets then, because this is the starter. It gives you the pre-generated characters. So we've got Drogo Baggins, and each of them has got a bit of text about them, all about them, and then what they say and a bit more sort of about them. And then you've got their statistics. I like the character sheets. That's something I'm sure my grandkids could use. I think it's quite a nice little one. So we've got Drogo, we've got Esmeralda Took. Now if you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings, you'll actually start recognising these names. Lobelia Bracegirdle, yeah, you may know her as something else. A lot of these are very early on, not far after the Hobbit, so they are younger versions of what we might expect to find. Paladin Took the Second, Primula Brandybuck, Rorimac Brandybuck, and then you've got two which come in, I know, later in the adventure, because I did have a sneak peek through the PDF version while I was waiting for this to arrive. You've got Balin, son of Fundin. Quite nice. Little touches I quite like. The virtues there, dark for dark business, which is a direct quote from The Hobbit. I like that. So we've got Balin, and we get Bilbo Baggins himself. Again, I like some of the touches there. Brave at a pinch, I quite like that one. So they work quite nicely. They're nicely done. I would definitely copy them before I use them. Well, that's a nice touch. In the bottom of the box, we've actually got the map of the Shire. It's a useful little touch. Then we've got the books. Okay, now we've got the adventures. Now it's printed on nice paper. It's very artistic. The artwork is gorgeous. That is absolutely stunning, with the wolf on the rocks with the hobbit hiding underneath. The style is really nice. It looks like something that Tolkien could have used. The illustrations may or may not be to taste. I'm not too convinced on the troll, but Balin I think is absolutely brilliant. So you've got a multi-part adventure, and it's a nice touch that actions will have consequences. I know with some of them, if you do something early on, it might come back to bite you in future adventures. So I do like that one. That's the adventures. The rule book is nice and short. It's 24 pages, which, let's be honest, even for a shortened set of rules is quite short. So talks about a typical example of play. You've got how the game is structured, how you resolve actions, characteristics, how they work. Note there's no generation rules in this, that comes in the main book. Skills that the characters have, combat proficiencies, endurance and hope. Hope is one of the big themes of the Lord of the Rings, hope and despair. So this is actually a massive part of the game. Valor and wisdom, adventuring. So it talks about how adventures work. Combat. You know, I mean, let's be realistic. If we have a combat set of rules that takes up 3 pages, that's going to be nice and simple to play. I mean, the artwork is still stunning. I'm quite bemused that you actually have 3 books. I wonder if that was a deliberate choice. So then we get the book about the Shire. So you've got a brief history of the Shire. talks about things like Gandalf, families and culture, geography. So you get all the different. There's a bit of a mark on there. Something's got in there. I don't know what that was. Not going to mark it down for that, mind. It's the sort of thing that happens. So apologies for the camera juddering then. Cubit the cat is trying to get my attention because he's not on screen, and he absolutely loves being on screen. So what else have we got? We've got the different farthings. It talks about gossip at the inn. That's always a nice one. Hobbiton, Hamfast Gamgee. Talks about various places. Yeah, again, beautiful artwork. I love the style of art in this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Free League, if you ever think of actually doing an art book, I think I'd probably buy that, because I do think the art in their games is phenomenal. Like I say, it just then works through section by section of the Shire with things to do. Like that bit, the Black Wolf of Woody End, that might crop up somewhere. Again, more beautiful artwork. Buckland, strange songs, so different verses you may hear of a song. I like that touch. Tales and all of this. The Old Forest, obviously that's going to be an interesting place to do it. So you get encounter tables, Tom Bombadil. Yeah, useful as a guide to the Shire, particularly if you don't know the background to the Lord of the Rings as well as you should, and if you don't, please go off and read it now. As a set, that is really, really nice. I mean, you've got the 3 books. I mean, the adventures, I've read the PDF version, I haven't played them yet. I think is a lovely little campaign. It's focused on the Shire and them running errands for Bilbo. Quite interesting little ones. In many ways, I suppose it strikes me as almost trying to play an 1890s murder mystery, in that you have Sherlock Holmes available, but he doesn't work as a player character. Bilbo can be used as a PC, but generally will be the patron. And it would be using your characters effectively are the Baker Street irregulars, and I think that works really nicely as a concept. So we've got the adventures, you've got the rules, and you've got that. The characters, like I said, they are beautiful. You can see there 6 skills for each of the 3 attributes, and then 4 combat proficiencies. It's not exactly the most complex of character sheets. But they are nicely thought out. So I'm looking forward to playing this. When I do play, I'll sort of probably do another review. What I will do as well is I'll review the actual rule book and the referee screen. I won't do that now, but I do think that it's the sort of game that is going to appeal to a Tolkien fan, and as a Tolkien fan, I'm hooked. Hope that's been useful, and I'll see you soon for another review.